to answer questions.
With regards to cooking food, so I've read your book, 80-10-10, which is great, and I stick to it till about 4 o'clock, so I try and be raw till 4 and make sure that I'm combining foods in the right groups. However, with Indian people, I've looked at the studies of them, and they're some of the most healthy people on the planet, supposedly. Like, there's people that run marathons till like 104 years old. So they eat cooked curries, and I know that their food is heated by the sun mainly, and because of the climate where they live, that they actually sweat a lot of the toxins out, so it's very different to the environment that we live in. But if they're healthy, then how come we can't eat some cooked food?
You can eat whatever you want to eat, and you can eat some cooked food, but there's going to be a price for that. When you live in a tropical environment, when you live in a low-stress environment, yes, there's one guy that's 102 or 103 or 4 or something that ran a marathon recently, but my answer to this question is Michael Jordan was unequivocally the best basketball player that ever lived, and he smoked cigars. Was he the best player because he smoked cigars or in spite of the fact? And he ate fried chicken. Was it because of the fried chicken that he played basketball so well? Most people say it was in spite of that fact. He was meticulous in his training and in his preparation. What we learn through science, we learn through great numbers of people. And what we've learned is that fruits and vegetables are the best for us. Can we eat other foods and survive? Yes, of course. Eskimos don't eat hardly any fruits or vegetables. They're eating a diet that's almost exclusively fat, and the average Eskimo dies at age 39. But they survived up there. There's a difference between surviving and thriving. If you want to hit your highest level of possible peak performance, then you take the best care of yourself possible. It's challenging for young people to understand how important this is because everything still works just the way it's supposed to work. You haven't seen the ravages of decades and the toll that decades take on human beings. Funny. So here we are, 25 years old, 15 maybe even, and we go out and we party all weekend as much as we can in order to get to a point where we can't remember the fun we had last night because we were so blown trying to destroy our consciousness to get as close to unconscious as we can. Then fast forward and we're 45 years old and we're going to the classes to see if we can increase our awareness and increase our consciousness levels because we blew it away when we were 20 and 25. The time to start taking good care of yourself is yesterday. Since that option doesn't exist, it becomes today. Can you eat some cooked food and not die? Sure. You could smoke a cigarette every night and not die. What happens is that our experience of life is cumulative. The health effect is cumulative. So what you do all the time adds up. What you do once in a while, the effect isn't going to add up as quickly, but it's still going to be there. So when your boyfriend says to you, I'm totally committed to you from midnight until 4 in the afternoon, but between 4 and midnight, not so much. And you go, oh, well, that won't work. I'm not saying in any way everybody needs to be 100% committed to raw food. It's your choice. I'm just saying the fruits and vegetables are the best for us. If you want the best for yourself, it's going to be whole, fresh, ripe, raw, organic fruits and vegetables. Those are the best foods for people. And it's inarguable. In sports science, it's inarguable. In noetic science, in carcinogenic studies, in the heart research, it doesn't matter where we go in the research, the answer comes back fruits and vegetables. Always fruits and vegetables, to the point where we almost don't hear the message because we're tired of hearing fruits and vegetables. And so we avoid that and we go, yeah, well, in addition to fruits and vegetables. But actually it's not because we didn't take care of business at home. How many people had fruit and only fruit for breakfast? I'm not even going to look. It doesn't matter because there's no judgment on my part. But if you ate fruits and vegetables for the breakfast this morning or just fruit for breakfast this morning, you took care of business. If it was anything else, then you're hoping to get away with it. And you will for a while. Then the cumulative effect will start coming and you'll go, gee, I wish I'd taken better care of myself back then because now I can't go back. I can't undo the damage that was done. When I was 16 years old, I hurt my pinky. I can't undo the damage that was done. It doesn't bother me. It still works just fine. It's not arthritis. But the orthopedic surgeon looked at it and said, does it hurt? I said, no. He said, leave it alone. But I can't undo it. If you've ever had an accident of any kind in your life and go, oh, if I could only recall that moment. But it's already done. The stuff we've already done, we can't undo it. But your next meal, and the next meal, and you look and you go, if you want to improve the quality of the food on your plate, increase the percentage of whole, fresh, ripe, raw, organic plants. Maybe this month you'd say, I'm going to eat more whole food. And next month, I'm going to eat more fresh food. And then the next month, more raw or more ripe or more organic. Increase the percentage of, and slowly and surely going in that direction. And some people go, you know what? I don't have that kind of time. If you want to get to Edinburgh from here, you don't go via Los Angeles to Beijing and then over to Edinburgh. You take the shortcut and just take the straight route. To me, the shortcut was from what I used to eat to what I now understand is the best food for human beings, fruits and vegetables. If you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, you will experience predictably cravings. If you crave heavy food at the end of the meal, you didn't eat enough fruit at the beginning of the meal. Like your mother said to you, don't eat sweets before the meal, it'll spoil your appetite. Well, she was right. But that's the whole point of eating, is to spoil your appetite. That's the purpose of eating, is to spoil your appetite. If you're craving something heavy, some nuts or something like cheesecake or an extra couple of avocados, if you're looking around for heavy food, something rich at the end of the meal, you didn't eat enough fruit at the beginning of the meal to satisfy your appetite. If you're craving sweets at the end of the meal, obviously you didn't eat enough sweets at the beginning of the meal. Start your meal with fruit. It'll take the edge off your appetite. It's a healthy way to eat. Start with the best foods. If you're going to stray away by the end of the day or by the end of the meal, at least start with the best foods. Fruits and vegetables. If you're craving refined sugars, candy, alcohol, chocolate, dried fruit in between meals, you didn't judge exactly how much did I need to eat to hold me from one meal to the next. People tell me I tried that raw food thing, but it didn't work for me. I was hungry an hour later. I go, well, what did you eat? And they said, well, I had an apple for breakfast. I go, oh, well, the apple had 50 calories. What do you usually eat for breakfast? They go, oh, well, I usually have eggs and toast and butter and a piece of cheese and maybe a little grits on the side with some honey on it. And I go, oh, so you usually eat 800 calories, and that holds you till lunch, but now you had 50 calories. It's like if you put in 2 drops of petrol in your car and you expect to drive 100 miles. It's not going to work. You put in enough fuel. The big challenge, what the question was about, is about starch. If bread, rice, pasta, corn, potatoes, starchy foods, if starchy foods are calling your name, even at 4 o'clock or 5 or 6 in the afternoon, you didn't eat enough fruit. Your body is telling you, hey, I didn't eat enough fruit. And then you start looking for some other carbohydrate source because your brain runs on carbohydrates. All cells of your body are fueled by carbohydrates. The 5th craving is for salt. Some of us do crave salt now and then. And anytime that you crave salt or salty things, it's telling you point blank you have not been eating enough vegetables. You get your salts from vegetables. So if you want to experience no cravings, you eat enough fruit to satisfy these first 4. You eat enough vegetables to satisfy the 5th. It's a diet of fruits and vegetables. We're designed to eat fruits and vegetables. We thrive our best on fruits and vegetables. The mantra is whole, fresh, ripe, raw, organic fruits and vegetables. The point of the talk is to get you to eat more fruits and vegetables so that we eat less fat. Can you imagine we're at the club and I walk up to you and go, hey, great fat, where do you get your fat? And I'm going to get slapped. Fat isn't a bad thing. We have to have it. Your brain is made of fat, but your brain development happened before you were born. It was done. You don't need more fat. More fat doesn't make you smarter. If it did, the people eating a whole lot of fat would be the smartest people with the biggest brains. It's silly. The people eating the most cooked food would have the huge heads. It doesn't work that way. These are ideas simply to reinforce eating cooked food because we all love to keep doing what we've been doing. unless somebody can show them something better. Fruits and vegetables is so much better. Give it a try. The idea is to keep your carbohydrate intake above 80% of calories. If you do that, you can keep your protein intake below 10%. You can keep your fat intake below 10% of total calories as an average. It doesn't mean you don't take a bite of an avocado, which is 80% fat. It means as an average for your total calories for the day or the week or the month or the year, as you look at what you ate this year, you can say, mostly I ate carbohydrates. The best carbohydrates, the ones that don't have the teratogens, mutagens, and carcinogens, are raw carbohydrates. We're going to find those in fruit. Any other questions?
I'm one of these people that cut out a lot of fruits because of the whole talk about fruit sugars being bad for you. So you're saying eat a lot of fruit. So where do you stand?
The question is, there's an issue when you're on a high-fat diet. Also eating a lot of fruit will not work. If you eat a lot of fat and a lot of fruit, that combination will never work. That is the road to diabetes, the road to candida, the road to all sorts of health issues, unclear thinking, walking around in a fog, weak feeling. The trick to that is to completely cut out fat for a day. Doesn't take a month or a year. We're talking about a day. Just allow your body to process the fats that are running through the bloodstream right now. And like I said at the beginning of the talk, I did this with a bunch of diabetics. Took them off all fat for one day. Not even 24 hours, it was 18. It takes 18 hours to process the fats. Once they had done that, we put them on watermelon, we put them on bananas, we put them on orange juice, no sugar spikes. The biggest problem we had was that they were over-medicating themselves and it was driving their blood sugar levels too low, and they had to be quick about reducing it. So for you, typically what we see people who find themselves very sugar sensitive start out by have a meal of vegetables, go to bed. By the time it's morning, your body has cleared the fats. Once the fats are cleared, then you can eat fruit, and you can just go right into fruit with full confidence. Any other questions? Coming back here.
You mentioned I'm a dentist. I'm a dentist, and I spend a lot of my day trying to repair people's teeth because of acid erosion from fruit. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that.
Questions about acid erosion from fruits. I've been to dentists before. You don't see a lot of fruit eaters at dentists, but if you do, fantastic. I'm all in favor of that. What you're going to see is that there are certain foods that cause tooth erosion, and even though dentists aren't completely agreed on what it is, so I'm not going to come off as the expert, but the things that are worst for tooth erosion are acids, especially the acids that are stuck to your teeth. So if you're not cleaning your teeth after you eat, you're going to be more prone to tooth erosion than if you do clean your teeth after you eat. Usually people say wait 20 minutes or something like this. The second thing is the acids that are actually in the food you eat. I've seen people erode their teeth by trying to live on acidic fruits such as pineapples and oranges and lemons. I knew a girl who used to suck lemons all the time. She eroded her teeth by doing that. And certainly if you're living on the acidic fruits only, the problem with the acidic fruits is that they don't provide a lot of calories either. So you have to eat it either all the time or a lot of it, and these are hard on your teeth. I'm recommending that we go more towards the sweeter fruits, the ones that don't have so much acid in them. I'm still going to my dentist. I've been eating fruit for 35 years. I've eaten more fruit than any human being alive, and I'm not having any dental erosion whatsoever, whereas as a child, you can look at my mouth and see, oh yeah, as a child, you had no end of tooth problems. As a teenager, almost all my teeth got filled, and very weak teeth. But on this diet, the dentist I've been to, I've moved around a bit, and they go, just keep doing what you're doing. No teeth erosion problems from fresh food. Dried fruit sticks to your teeth, going to be problematic. And we've seen it again and again, people eating dates, it sticks to their teeth. And then the bacteria that consume those sugars, actually their poop is acidic, and that erodes the enamel. So that's what I've seen.